We're out in the sunshine. It's a beautiful afternoon at Stonedead 2021 with Myke Gray. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am even better to be in your presence because today has been so much fun and the build-up has been so much fun to come and see you because we've been following you the last few weeks. This festival has meant, from what we can see, so much for you to be here, to get to this point. You know, it's been a challenge for us all, but there's been certain challenges, but we've all made it here. And today, well, what can I say? What a tremendous performance.
Well, I mean, thank you very much. I mean, obviously, we were all meant to play last year. Sure. And, you know, we were very honoured and privileged to be asked, you know, and whenever I agree to do anything, you know, if I give my word on something, then it will take a lot for me to break my word, because I'm one of these strange individuals that thinks that someone's word is their bond. And then obviously everything rolled over to the following year, but I got married within that time and my wife lives in America, you know, so everyone's life circumstances change, and so now, you know, spend a lot of time in the US, but there was just no way that I wasn't going to play Stonedead. So yeah, it's been challenging. I've had to come over like 6 weeks ago, do all the preparation. The quarantining that you have to do, the tests that you have to do, it's a lot of work. But there was just no way that I was going to, first of all, let Stonedead down. I wasn't going to let the fans down, and I wasn't going to let my bandmates down. So, and these kind of shows are the ones that make it all worthwhile. You know, you see there's so much energy and love that surrounds you at a festival. You know, when people are so passionate about music that they're prepared to come and spend a day with you and experience all the bands, it's a very magical thing. You know, and I just feel very privileged and happy, you know, that it all sort of came through.
And we had a privilege of spending that moment when you arrived on stage. It was almost like a homecoming atmosphere at that point. We were willing you to be as brilliant as you were, and as great as the sound was, the crowd's smiling faces, that must never get old for you.
I mean, I've sort of, through my websites and stuff, I always say that it's the fans are the reason why I play music. I've never, when I started playing music at the age of 12, it just dominated my life. It still does. Like every waking moment, I'm always thinking about music. So it wasn't ever something that I did to make money. It was just, I just can't imagine not playing music. And I've been very lucky that over the years with Jagged Edge and Skin and Red, White and Blues, you know, the people that do like my music and do follow the music, they've been incredibly loyal. And I think through the websites, I try to make people aware of how much work sort of goes into just doing a gig, because if you knew the truth, you know, you'd understand why so many people give up, because it is a relentless pursuit, whether it be just keeping musicians interested, you know, keeping them to the standard, you know, economically trying to make it work. You've got day jobs going on, you've got personal lives, you know, and to keep the standard that is required, it takes an awful amount of work and a lot of sacrifice. You know, so I just think the fans, they feel sorry for me more than anything else.
Get out of town. And let's talk about the standard, because the musicians on with you today, good old Colin Parkinson, and Daniel as well, Daniel Byrne, we had a bit of a thought about this today, and we were going, well, you know, like Ozzy was very, very, always excellent at picking amazing guitarists. On that sort of thought, you have this absolute knack of finding really great vocalists. What is it, in terms of vocals, that attracts you the most when you work with people?
Well, I mean, there was a pivotal moment in my life, and like when I started initially, I was just playing guitar. You know, it was Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, Michael Schenker, and I just used to listen to songs for the guitar solos. And yeah, I was aware that there was things like bridges and choruses and verses, but ultimately I was like, where's the guitar solo? You know, and that was what I was interested in. But I lived by the Hammersmith Odeon, And I used to sneak in and watch all the bands sound checking. And I was very lucky like that. I had a lot of great opportunities. And one day I was able to go to the sound check of Dio. And I can't remember which band I snuck in with. I think it was Wasted or Grand Prix, but I was with the support band. And I remember just being in the Hammersmith Odeon, and they started playing Neon Nights. And Ronnie James Dio was singing Neon Nights at soundcheck. And I just remember watching this going, I've got to get one of them. And it was just like it dawned, it was sort of like the clouds opened. It was kind of like, if I'm going to succeed, I've got to have one of those. Otherwise, it isn't going to work. It was just like a realization. And of course, Ronnie James Dio singing Neon Nights was one of the greatest things you'll ever hear in your life at a sound check. Sure. It was like a mind-blowing experience. And it was the first time where I wasn't watching the guitar player. And I was like, oh my God, there's singers. I need to know about singers, at the age of 14 or 15. And then I was lucky because then I got to play with UFO. And so this was a big moment because I'd listened to all of these albums as a kid, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, Doctor Doctor. And I remember going to sound rehearsal. And of course, Phil Mogg comes in and he's like, what song do you want to play? And so I said, Lights Out. And he just looked at me as if to go like, all right, ambitious. So that was the first song I played with UFO. But of course, it was the first time I'd stood next to a world-class singer this close and had someone singing, and it was like chills. Because all of a sudden, even though I'd been in maybe 15 bands beforehand, it was like, forget everything that happened before.
That's the standard.
This is a new start.
Sure.
Okay, because now I heard one of the greatest singers ever. And it was just effortlessly flowed from him. Went from Doctor Doctor into Lights Out, and there's like resonance. And then I was kind of like, all right, who are the best singers? And the first singer I looked at was Neville MacDonald. Who I just, when I heard, the first time I met Neville, we were in a club called the St. Moritz, which was opposite the Marquee Club. And basically anyone who played at the Marquee would then go to the St. Moritz and hang out, get drunk and do what you do after a gig. And they had this little stage in there and bands used to get up and play. So someone said, hey, will you guys get up and play? And I'd never met Neville, didn't know anything about him. And we just got up and I was like, oh, what do you know? And he goes, oh, do you know any Led Zeppelin? So we played Whole Lot of Love. And I remember playing the riff, and then as he started singing, it was like, he's one of them. He's one of them. He's one of the ones I need. And so we played Whole Lot of Love, and I was like thinking, I've got to work with this guy. And then all of a sudden, this other guy walked up to the stage and went, if you're going to play my father's songs, you've got to play them right. And it was Jason Bonham. So then the next thing you know, Jason Bonham is on the drums, Nev's on vocal, I'm on guitar, and we play rock and roll. And so that was my introduction to Neville, but it was just that realization that if they're not that good, that level, then there's no real point working with them, for me, because as a songwriter, because that's always what I've always seen myself as, is a songwriter more than anything else. And so, you've in your head, you've got melodies that you want sung, and you realize, well, the only people that are going to be able to sing them are people that can sing. So I was very lucky. I've worked with Matty Alfonsetti, best singer in the studio ever. Neville MacDonald live, incredible, just mind-blowing. Phil Mogg's amazing. Bruce Dickinson is like, he's a force of nature, like no other musician I've ever worked with. He just has an intensity, he's the guy that will stand in front of 100,000 people and they'll just follow him. But he has that personality 24/7.
He's a leader, isn't
he? Yeah. I mean, and that's his real, it's that general, it's like he has unbelievable confidence. So I've just been very lucky, absolutely lucky. But I think ultimately, it's like I bring a lot of energy to it as well. And people realize, all right, he's serious, And so all I can really say is I think that I've attracted serious musicians.
And positive energy.
Yeah.
Brings in positive energy.
For sure, but it's just like, I'm kind of like a football fanatic as well, but because of teams. You know, I'm interested in how a team works, you know, and you just know, once you get that backbone of a team together, then there's a unity. And I think anyone who works with me will know, like, you're going to get 100% from me. And serious people know that if it's not 100%, it's not good enough. You know, so that's the only thing I can say. I've been lucky, very lucky.
It's been a wonderful life, I must admit, and there's much more to come. So, from Stonedead, what's the plan? Where are you going? What's happening?
Well, hopefully I'm getting on a plane on Tuesday morning and going to see my wife because she was very, very understanding and allowed me to come back over to the UK. I've been here for 7 weeks now. Go back. I mean, I'm transitioning to the US this year and next year. It's all in process.
That's why we bought the sunshine for.
Yeah, I mean, it's been beautiful. I mean, I will continue to make music. The writing has always been like my real passion. Hopefully I'll get to do one more tour in the UK next year to say thank you to the fans that have supported me for so many years. And I just hope that I'll be able to write some more songs in the future which people may like to listen to, really. But beyond that, I don't really have any plans.
Well, Myke, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today.
Oh, my pleasure. You know,
the energy has been incredible. Great show, great day. Myke Gray, everybody.
Thank you very much for anyone who's supported my music over the years. It really has meant the world to me. Jagged Edge, Skin, Red, White and Blue, Shades of Grey. Overwhelming support, and all I can say is thank you. Without you, you know, we're nothing really.